Hello friends. Today we'll be discussing on a very important topic: 6 misconceptions about God. Misconception 1: God is only light. Some people suggest that we meditate on light to realize God. But is God merely a tube light or neon light, or perhaps he is sunlight or the flickering flame or even a flashing searchlight? How one can develop spiritual realization of God by meditating on material light, and how can we restrict God to only light? God is also the source of light, both divine and mundane. Misconception number 2: God is only nature. We often explain our own and others' behavior by saying, "It's my nature and that's his true nature." Then whose nature does the universe follow? When we see a mother bear a child, we know there is a father, although I may not necessarily see the father. Similarly, when we see Mother Nature giving birth to so many living entities, we know that there is a Supreme Father, as Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Bijah Pradah Pita, even if we do not see the Father immediately. Misconception number 3: God is dead. Some philosophers claim that God is dead because he is unable to prevent suffering in this world. Frustrated with the corruption and hypocrisy they see in some organized religions and make such extreme generalization about God's non-existence. There was one such German philosopher whose name was Nietzsche, and he declared that religionists had killed God by their immoral behavior. By the same logic, if we see signs of morality and devotion among religionists, we could claim that God exists. In the late 1890s, Nietzsche enthusiasts painted a slogan on the wall in the church: "God is dead" by Nietzsche. Time passed, and on the grave of Nietzsche it was mentioned, "Nietzsche is dead, God." Misconception 4: I am God, you are God, and everyone is God. If that is so, did you create the sun, the moon, and the billions of stars? People who believe that everyone is God argue that we have simply forgotten we are God. If that is true, then what energy is so powerful as to cause the forgetfulness in God? That power should then be accepted as God. Misconception 5: God is in rituals only. Fanatics live, die, and even kill to prove that their rituals and ideas of God are better than others. Are they not simply flattering their own egos in the name of God? Their lack of spiritual knowledge is immediately exposed when we ask them the question, "Who am I? Who is God? What is the spirit soul? And what happens to us after death?" And the last misconception, 6th, is the world is an illusion and God is an imagination. At night, when you mistake a rope to be a snake and you get scared, but when the light is turned on and you realize that the snake was unreal, you feel relieved. To assume a rope as a snake is definitely an illusion, but to believe that even the rope doesn't exist is stretching it too far. Although this world is illusory, it is real. The word illusory here implies that it is simply temporary, that we can only find temporary happiness here. To assume that the material world can give us permanent happiness, that definitely is an illusion. But to say that when we wake up spiritually, we would realize that the world doesn't exist and God is just an imagination is plainly false. Instead of simply denying this temporary world, it would be prudent to use it to seek permanent happiness in our eternal loving relationship with God. I hope you liked this video. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon and download my free app, Dr. Saurabh Chaudhuri. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Saurabh Chaudhuri, your ancient Indian Vedic ambassador.